Marcus Chen wiped the sweat from his brow as he surveyed his wheat fields, stretching endlessly across the Nebraska plains. The golden stalk swayed in the afternoon breeze, heavy with grain that would soon feed thousands. He had no idea it would eventually feed millions across the galaxy. The first sign of contact wasn't the dramatic arrival the movies had promised. No massive ships blotting out the sun, no ominous humming filling the air. Instead, a small silver pod had crash-landed in his north field 3 days ago, leaving a crater the size of his kitchen table and scaring his cattle into the next county. Inside the pod, Marcus had found what looked like a child-sized humanoid with pale blue skin and large dark eyes. The creature was unconscious, its breathing shallow but steady. Against his better judgment, Marcus had carried it to his farmhouse, tended to its wounds, and fed it chicken soup when it finally awoke. The being called itself Keth-9, a scout from the Valian Collective, and it spoke perfect English through a small translation device. What amazed Marcus wasn't the alien's ability to communicate. It was how hungry it was. Keth-9 devoured everything Marcus put in front of it. Bread, vegetables, meat, even the oats he'd been saving for his horses. "Your sustenance," Keth-9 had said between mouthfuls of cornbread. "It provides energy levels we have never encountered. Our food synthesizers produce nutritionally complete meals, but they lack substance, strength. Your crops contain compounds that enhance our biological efficiency by 340%. Marcus had chuckled at the time. "Son, that's just good old-fashioned farming. Soil, sun, water, and a little know-how." 3 weeks later, Marcus understood why Keth-9's eyes had widened at those words. The collective's harvest ship arrived on a Tuesday morning, its massive bulk settling gently in the field beyond his barn. Marcus stood on his porch, coffee mug in hand, watching beings that looked like Keth-9 emerge from the vessel. They moved with purpose, carrying scanning equipment and sample containers. "Marcus Chen," called a voice behind him. He turned to see Keth-9 approaching with a taller Valian, whose skin bore intricate silver markings. "This is Harvest Commander Nick 7. She wishes to discuss terms." Nick 7 bowed formally. "Farmer Chen, your world's agricultural output represents a solution to a crisis that has plagued the collective for generations. Our synthetic foods sustain life but do not provide the energy density required for long-range exploration or sustained conflict. Your crops could change the balance of power in this galaxy." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Conflict? The hegemony wars have raged for 2 centuries, Nick 7 explained. The Zarathi Empire seeks to subjugate all free worlds. Our fleets can match their weapons and shields, but we cannot match their endurance. They have biological advantages. They require less nutrition and can survive longer on minimal resources. Until now," she gestured toward his fields. "Your wheat contains protein chains that enhance muscle efficiency. Your corn provides sustained energy that lasts 3 times longer than our synthesized alternatives. Your soybeans contain compounds that accelerate healing and cognitive function. This farm could supply a battle fleet for months." Marcus set down his coffee mug. "And you want to buy my crops?" "We want to buy your knowledge," Nick 7 corrected. "The collective is prepared to offer you technology, resources, and protection in exchange for teaching our agriculturalists your methods." Over the following months, Marcus found himself at the center of an interstellar agricultural revolution. Valian scientists studied his soil composition, his crop rotation techniques, his pest management strategies. They marveled at concepts that seemed mundane to him: composting, selective breeding, the symbiotic relationship between different plants. "You use the waste of one organism to nourish another," observed Dr. Yex4, the lead agricultural specialist. "You plant nitrogen-fixing legumes alongside nitrogen-consuming grains. You introduce beneficial insects to control harmful ones. It's elegant." "It's farming," Marcus replied, showing them how to identify soil pH levels. "My grandfather taught me, his grandfather taught him. It's about working with nature, not against it." The transformation was remarkable. Within 6 months, collective agricultural stations across 12 worlds were producing crops using Earth-based techniques. Fleet soldiers reported increased stamina, faster recovery from injuries, and improved mental acuity. Most importantly, their ships could remain in deep space far longer than ever before. The war turned in their favor within a year. Marcus learned of the collective's victories through regular communications from Keth-9, who had become something of a liaison between Earth and the broader galactic community. The Zarathi Empire, faced with an enemy that could now outfight and outlast them, had sued for peace. The hegemony wars are over, Keth 9 reported during one of his visits. The Collective Council wishes to offer Earth full membership and protection. They're calling you the Harvest Sage, the human who ended 2 centuries of conflict with soybeans and wheat. Marcus laughed. Looking out over his fields where Valian students now learned beside human agricultural college interns. I'm still just a farmer, Keth. I grow things. It's what I do. Perhaps, Keth 9 replied, but sometimes the simplest solutions are the most powerful. Your people have a saying, do they not? Give a being a fish and you feed them for a day. Teach them to fish and you feed them for a lifetime. You have taught an entire galactic civilization to fish. As the sun set over Nebraska, Marcus Chen, farmer, teacher, and inadvertent architect of galactic peace, smiled and planned tomorrow's planting. There were new worlds to feed, new crops to test, and new students eager to learn that sometimes the most advanced civilizations could learn from the most basic wisdom. The galaxy was vast, but good soil, hard work, and a little know-how could make it feel like home.